Hey, huh? Uh, yeah, now I'm back in the apartment. I'm gonna try and do this. And it's weird too because it was 5G, the data that I normally use, all the bars. I don't understand why it stopped. It's kind of weird. Uh, it's weird. That was just weird. And it was perfect by the pool, but oh well. In the apartment now. And I appreciate anybody coming back, and I apologize for the technical difficulties. Uh, Usually the 5G is really good here, especially when I'm outdoors. Even Ray can attest to that. Um, then it was 5G too when the wheels started spinning. And then Ray, thank you. You sent me the text message. I don't know what happened, but I'm glad I'm getting you guys back because I just want to do a live stream. And like I said, normally I'd be getting up early in the morning in the United States, getting ready for Thanksgiving, hanging out with my parents, most likely. Would be watching watching football, that's for sure. That was a traditional thing we did on Thanksgiving. Usually there's what, 3 games? What were the classic ones? I mean, Dallas usually played. Uh, yeah, I miss all that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously I could watch football here, but uh, I guess it would be what the first game usually starts at like noon, I think, on Thanksgiving. So it'd be midnight. But Bakers Without Borders, thank you for being here. I remember you guys. I'm actually, obviously, you're friends of Ray's. I'm subscribed to your channel. And yes, my channel, Bakers Without Borders, just to give you a little update. And Ray knows what I'm talking about. Obviously, you make your name in your title, and then you have the @ and you want the name of your channel and that @ to match. But sometimes it's already taken, which something simple, spelt something simple, was already taken. So the only option they gave me was like having a 2. And I didn't like having that 2 for the longest time because people would think my channel was something simple too, or I'd tell them something simple and it wouldn't come up. So then I had to be like @ something simple too, and it was just kind of annoying. So for a while, I'd also been thinking about changing the name of the channel, something more geared towards me, although having the simple life is true. But I have like 3 ideas right now. One I'm really favoring it. I think it's perfect, kind of catchy, and I think it'll help hopefully maybe give the channel some juice. I don't know, but it just reflects more towards me and me coming here and being in the Philippines and adventure and all that kind of stuff. But so I changed it. Obviously, you see something like someone says, "What's up, sup, something," and I just was able to use that, kind of catchy, but not permanent. And then obviously, I didn't have to have a number there. So that's why I did that, Bakers Without Borders. But when you change it, you have to wait 7 to 14 days. I've heard different opinions when it'll allow me to change it. So yeah, an official new name. Hopefully that sticks for a while. When I came up with something simple, it was neat at the time, but I don't honestly wasn't so sure that was the name I actually wanted anyway. Uh, Ray said, had to get Wi-Fi. Yep, Josh is here. Hey, Josh. How you doing, Josh? Retracted message. Bakers Without Borders said, understandable. Always think it's my Wi-Fi, LMAO. Yeah, sometimes I get better service from the data. It's over the Wi-Fi. I don't know. it's hit or miss here, I guess. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Um, See, all right, Ray. So wish I would have known that. It says sometimes you have to refresh your screen, swipe up on YouTube, and then reopen. So when you say swipe up, you're just saying swipe up on the screen or swipe down to refresh. Honestly, I didn't even know you could do that. Obviously, maybe up. But I thought there was some sort of way that you could refresh it if you see it, the wheels are spinning. That's good to know. Josh says Wi-Fi brownout. Yeah, that's possible too. Wouldn't that be some funny thing? Sitting here and then all of a sudden, everything goes dark. But they're apparently supposed to have generators here, but they don't kick on right away if they do. But we've seen generators, big ones, out there. But welcome, Josh. Welcome. Bakers Without Borders says yes, football, the Lions. Yeah, well, usually it's like what Detroit and Dallas play. I know they always play on Thanksgiving, or I think the Miami Dolphins always would play on Thanksgiving. It seems like there were several teams that would always play a lot. What are you doing over there, Che?
I'm talking to Leah.
Huh?
I'm talking to Leah.
Oh, she's on the phone. She's on the phone. Josh says Baker's still in Tagaytay. Yeah, I think that's where they're right here. I'll just give you this too. Baker's yeah, I think the Bakers already have a place, if I remember correctly, in Tagaytay. So when they come back, they'll have their place, if I remember that correctly. Gracie's back. Sorry about that, Gracie, or anybody who's here. That's my fault. Just when I thought 5G wouldn't let me down, which it really hasn't. It did, but it could be something as simple as what Ray said. Maybe I didn't know you could swipe up. I have to get the specific details. I didn't know you could even refresh it while you were doing a live, but that's good to know. So welcome back, Gracie. Bakers Without Borders said, I like something better. Yeah, honestly, I like that. Something simple better than something simple. I do like it better. Like I said, I have ideas for something different, but the one I like, and it's available, no numbers, nobody has it. Well, knowing my luck, I'll go to the deadline will pass that I can put in a new name and then it'll be taken, knowing my luck. Hello, Miss Dimple says, good evening, Poe. Good evening, Miss Dimple. How are things going for you? I guess I say this is like a happy Thanksgiving live stream here in the Philippines. Thinking about Thanksgiving, missing the food and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, all right, now, okay, John Japp, thank you for coming back. My apologies for 5G failing me here in the Philippines. That's just, as Che would say, when something doesn't go as conveniently smooth as we're used to, she says, welcome to the Philippines. Josh Wilson says, Guapo Philly. Guapo Philly. You lost me on that one, Josh. Guapo Philly. Enjoyed the parade video. Yeah, oh, that's the one. Yeah, that I did. That was a lot of fun. I did actually enjoy that. I haven't really, when I was here before, I was kind of involved in parades, watching them, but I never did it as a vlogger. And then when you do it as a vlogger, obviously the details, you just pay attention more. And I got more into it, and I was kind of proud of all the locals because the weather wasn't the greatest. I mean, it wasn't like torrential downpours, but they're smiling, they're so happy when they see you. And I like the drums. Obviously, I said that over and over, but yeah, I definitely like the drums. And I like being able to share something like that because who knows, even if someone's here in the Philippines or even local, they can't get to the parade for whatever reason. If they have a phone, they can watch it, and then obviously anybody else, wherever they're watching from, can see like what's going on here in the Philippines. Ray says, I think Ray in the Philippines is pretty descriptive. Yeah, it's pretty descriptive. Like I said, you might, who knows what people's opinions will be. I kind of like it. The one that I'm favoring, again, I think the way I have it spelled, SUMPIN, is better than the other one. And like I said, I don't have any numbers on it now. Miss Dimple says, hello, Michael and Che. They're saying hi to you, Che. Are you still talking?
I said hello.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm talking to Leah.
Video chat? Oh, she's just texting with Leah. Well, why don't you sit over here? Mal TV says, why God made many gospel and hide it on the Bible today? Why God made many gospel and hide it? I read the Bible. Well, I do an audio book. I must admit, I do the audio Bible, different books and verses almost every day. But welcome, Mal TV. John says, Wi-Fi not good here. My phone often uses data to speed up the connection. Yeah, I've seen where I've been on Wi-Fi and it starts to go back to 5G. That's like I said, though, I'm outside. I thought the 5G, and it was, like I said, all the bars. There was no indication that the signal was bad, but maybe Ray's right. Maybe there's something that can like refresh it or something. But like I said, I don't know how you do that. Ray says it has to do with your phone going into lock screen while live. I think it's more of an Apple issue. So really, so your phone can go into lock if I'm not touching it after so long, is maybe what you're thinking. That's interesting, and I wouldn't doubt it. Bakers Without Borders says, thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. Once we get back to the Philippines in January, we'll definitely do more videos. Yeah, that's what I had to do. When I went to the US in March, and that was just when my channel, well, like I said, it was very new, but I was getting a lot of views on the videos, and I thought things were just getting rolling, going good, and then I had to go back to the United States on March 17th. So from March to June, I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't do anything from home in Pennsylvania. And me looking at it as a viewer, I'm like, if I'm watching some guy's channel about the Philippines, would I really want to watch what he's doing in the US? Maybe some people would have been interested. Maybe they would have been interested in seeing how I'm dealing with being away from Che. I guess I could have done stuff like that. But I didn't. So, Mal TV says, coffee break, sir. Not yet. I had one earlier, a little too late. My coffee break, I usually try to only stick to two coffees a day, double espressos, and they keep me pretty wired, Mal TV. So no coffee break. I had a late dinner, and now I'm just hanging out in the apartment talking to you guys. So thanks for being here, Mal TV. Appreciate it. Manju Singh says, please join me also, guys. I will return. Oh, yeah, I remember you. Yeah, I think people had subscribed to you. I remember you. You live in India or something? I could be wrong. I apologize, but I remember you. Yeah, she's trying to build her channel, so if anybody's interested in subscribing to Manju Singh, yeah, that's what she's reaching out for, subscribers to help her channel grow. Bakers Without Borders says, we are tidying things up here in Texas. We fly back to Tagaytay January 4th, spend New Year's here with our friends one last time. Yeah, that's good. I mean, how excited though, like after you went back, I don't even remember exactly when you went back to Texas, to the US, but how soon after you got back to Texas did you feel like, man, I really miss the Philippines and I'm ready to go back? Or hasn't it hit you yet? Maybe you didn't even feel like that. I'm just curious, because for me, it was like, when I landed connecting a flight. When I landed first time in the U.S., when I went back in March in Denver, before I was going from Denver to DC, and then I think I had to go to DC to Pennsylvania. But when I landed in Denver, walking through the terminal and just felt the different vibe being back, I was ready to go back to the Philippines just after I landed in Denver. I was just like, nobody looked happy. I instantly missed more of the happiness. The people were more, it's just different. I don't know how, it was just weird, and I couldn't wait to get back. First couple of weeks drug on forever, maybe the first month, but after that it picked up. But Manju, please join me, guys. I'm from India. That's right. I will return a favor. So yeah, anybody that subscribes to Manju, she will subscribe back to you. Ray says, I think Guapo Philly was a channel name suggested. Oh, all right. Well, Guapo Philly's interesting. And it's kind of interesting because Philly can relate to the Philippines, can relate to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, although I'm not from or didn't live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But yeah, you can look at it a lot of ways. Appreciate that then, Josh. My apologies for not catching on to that. We got at Arroyo Family Vlog says hi. Hello, Arroyo Family Vlog. Welcome. Where are you from, Arroyo Family Vlog? John says, nice bakers. Welcome to the Philippines. Yeah, that's awesome. They'll be coming back. I'm just excited for David. I guess, Ray, you could give everybody an update on David. I know he's kind of was delayed due to the weather here in the Philippines. Not that being delayed in Hawaii, in my opinion, would be the worst thing in the world, but yeah, if you can give an update on David Jessup, Ray, that'd be great. Ray says, Che and Leah doing Marites. Oh boy. Che,
What?
what are you doing? You coming over here or are you going to bed? She's kind of a little, I'm like making her suffer to come over here and hang out. She doesn't,
Is it?
he says like here, Che and Leah doing,
Marites.
oh,
Of course, right? We're Filipino. We're doing Marites. Marites is not about. It's Marites is gossiping.
is what?
Gossiping
Oh.
about it.
Probably. I don't know what they're talking about, Ray. You never know. Filipinas, I think, aren't you guys like chatty always about other people or something like that? That gossip. Isn't that like a Filipina
Yeah,
thing?
but sometimes it's a good way, but sometimes it's not.
She's just
50-50.
She's just grumpy. She ate, so that's not the excuse. I'm here with you guys, so like I said, she doesn't have to be if she doesn't want to be, but yeah, sometimes this is what you deal with. And then what was it, John or Jeff? Somebody just said like, yeah, honeymoon or something like that. I was just like, oh, jeez. Ray says, JP, where are you going?
It's cold.
Cold? I have the air conditioner on, but it's not like, it's like literally warm in here. And she's saying, where are you going? Then you want to sit here? Here, move this. And then you can get in the corner. Make her all happy. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at this. Woo. Nobody's raining on my parade. I don't care. She'll fall asleep maybe. All right, Ray says, JP will take the bakers on a beach trip. Yeah, Ray, if you ever come to Dumaguete, we'll go to Sikihor. It was kind of, well, you'll see it in the video. I don't want to spoil the video that I'm putting together, but there was just a little situation on the beach where some girls were in thongs, and she brought it to my attention. It's just funny. You'll see in the video. Very, very interesting. Right? Bakers says thanks, Jap. We love it there and can't wait to get back. Oh, Baker said, give me the beach. That's the way I feel. I'll tell you what, Sikihor, a nice little 30-minute, 35-minute, but it's less than 40 minutes. Those boys were flying today, to there and back. It was what per person on the trip over and back? Like how much was it? 250 per person? What did we pay for the trip when we
350.
So 500.
350.
Oh, 350. So it was 700.
Yeah.
So like 350 per person to go over.
But look at the views. It's 333 more.
350. So 700. But we went to a beach that was fairly close by Palatine, right? Palatine?
Mm-hmm. Palatine.
Palatine Beach, but then there's a beach called Little Boracay.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. And actually, the Little Boracay section, there's not a lot of people there. I mean, I guess there was an okay amount, but not overcrowded. Actually, it didn't start getting crowded until we were leaving.
I realized Palatine Beach, they called Little Boracay because it's look like Boracay, but it's Palatine Beach.
Right. But anyway, it didn't start getting crowded until after we left. So he's starting to talk now. I don't know what's going on. But it didn't start getting crowded right until we left.
Yeah, it's gonna be crowded. It's afternoon.
It's like
4.
It's gonna be dark soon. So I don't know. Maybe they do stuff on the beach after it gets dark. I'm not sure. John says yes, Ray. I'm up for that. Bakers Without Borders says I'm a water baby at heart. Yeah, I just give me the beach. I have to refresh mine during live. So I'll talk to you. I mean, you don't have to try and explain it to me on here, Ray, but so there's obviously a way you swipe up somehow on your phone on the live stream and it refreshes it. I've never done that. And maybe, I don't know why I wouldn't have been, I guess it's good to do.
I deleted the comment. I removed the comment.
Oh, all right. That's all right. Shay's a moderator. She's moderating now. John says, don't blame you bakers. It's beautiful here. Is this the...
Yeah, I'm gonna delete that.
Oh, I don't even know.
He keeps saying that comment.
Well, what's it say?
I don't know. It's like I don't know. I can't understand.
All right, Josh says, Ray, if you go across this, you can just leave it there. Like, Che, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. All right, okay. Josh said, Ray, if you go across the street and slide 2,000 feet down the hill, is there a beach?
That's funny.
That's funny. Ray, you going to slide down a hill for us? I want to see that on video. Simon's here. He says, good evening, Michael. Nice to see you at home and not roaming the streets. No, I'm not roaming the streets. I'm here with Che. She's sleepy, getting a little grumpy, but that's not because she hasn't been fed. She doesn't get her Filipina sleep. And that's why when I go out on my own and you guys wonder where Che's at, yeah, she's doing some cleaning here or she's doing grocery shopping or something like that, but I think she sneaks in some naps.
I didn't.
All right,
Promise, I didn't.
But maybe you need to. I don't know. She's a little grumposaurus a little bit right now. I don't understand it because I'm older than her. Like, I don't know. I was excited, happy to be here. That'd be funny though. Roman scene. I gotta say that again. Ray, if you go across the street and slide 2,000 feet down the hill, is there a beach? That's funny. Bakers with Borders laughing at Josh. Yeah, it was funny. Simon says, hey, Angel, Ray, Frank. John says, haha, Josh, been in the volcano. That's right, yeah, Ray's got a volcano, I think, close to him in Tagaytay.
Yeah, the Mayon volcano, I think.
You know better than me. Bakers Without Borders. I'm just going to call you guys Bakers. It's like a tongue twister. Baker says, hey, to Simon. Baker says, like 3 days. Oh, so it only took you 3 days till you realized you missed the Philippines. That's that's good. That's good. You know, I wasn't expecting you to say like as soon as you landed in the United States like me. I just saw it. I'm very observant. You know, a little bit of a people watcher, and everybody just seemed miserable at the airport in the U.S. in Denver. I mean, I'm like crowded airport. They can't all be that miserable, but you never know, right, Che? Some people are just grumpy. She laughed. I got her to laugh. Uh, Ray says, Angel JP lives in the area. We can make a couple's trip to, do you know how to say that word, Che? Nisgusbu?
Sugbo?
Huh?
In Sugbo? In Sugbo.
I don't know.
Where's that, Ray? Where's in Sugbo?
She's asking you, Ray, that NSUG Nisgugbu. I don't know. Ray says, hey to Simon. Baker says, I'm so ready to go back. We told Ray that last night when Frankie had to pay $90 for filling up his diesel tank. Oh, boy. And in a 12-pack of beer or something, he said, oh, shit, let's go back to the Philippines. Yeah, just think of that. Yep. $90. I mean, obviously, diesel tank. I guess diesel is technically cheaper, right? But it must be a big truck or something. Like, it requires a lot of gas. Maybe that's why it was 90. But still. Yeah, I knew right away when I was in Denver airport. I'd be like, these people look miserable. It's the first thing I said. Is like, these people look miserable. And I said, it's the first time I felt like negative vibes since I've been in the Philippines from July of 2024 until March 17th. And well, I guess it was like the 18th in the US by the time I got there. But I was like, the vibe just did a freaking 180 from the Philippines back to the US. And yep. John says, which is Jap, says, Taal is the smallest active volcano in the world. So that's the one in Tagaytay. Okay. Thank you, John. I can always get educated by you or Che. Right, Che? She's doing the eyebrow thing. Simon says, you're a fountain of knowledge, JP. Yeah, he is. I mean, it's like...
You can do research that in Google. What is the smallest volcano in the world?
Why use Google when I got JP?
Because
or you.
He usually Google it.
Well, maybe, but he's pretty quick. If he's using Google, he's pretty darn quick. But yeah, he is a fountain of knowledge. Simon says hi to Josh. And hey, Simon, how are things going? What's the weather been like? Getting better for you? You know. Feed Me 24 says, hey, are you Catholic? I was raised Catholic. Currently, I'm basically Christian, and I'm learning more about the Bible than I've ever learned in my life. Feed Me 24/7. And my mother, see this little, people like to call it an amulet, but St. Michael the Archangel. My mother named me after St. Michael the Archangel, and I always like telling people that. So yeah, religion is important to me. Born and raised Catholic, but am I geared towards Catholicism right now? Probably not. I'm geared to the Bible. The Bible, in my opinion, is the word and the truth, and that's what I focus on, the Bible. And actually, I'm learning more about that than I ever have before. But I don't read it. I do the audiobook version. I'm not big on reading, and I like walking, so when I'm out walking, I'm listening to the audio book of the Bible. John, which everybody calls you JP. I didn't know they called you JP. I've been calling you John or Jap. But he says, haha, Simon, still learning. Josh says hi to Simon. Ray says he's currently in Taiwan. Okay. So he got out of Hawaii. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Here's a question for you. Feed Me 24/7 is asking you.
Yes, I'm pure Bisaya. Bisdak.
Yeah, my name is Michael. I'm from the United States. Her name is Che, and she's a Filipina Bisaya.
Obviously.
And yeah, thanks for being here. Feed Me 24/7. I guess maybe you're from the Philippines. Let us know where you're from. We're getting educated here. This is good. John says, or JP, I've learned. Maybe I'll just call you JP. Tal erupted in 2020, had ash here in General Trios, could see it. Wow. Um, haven't experienced that yet. I guess the most fun we've had is the earthquakes in Bacolod, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the most fun we had, being in a high-rise building and shaking side to side. She was scared a lot, but don't. I probably would have been a little more panicky, but I immediately, and I've said this to you guys before, I just focused on taking care of her and calming her down. So when I focused my attention on her, I forgot about myself basically, and worked out good. And I'm glad we were safe and nothing happened. But yeah, that's a different kind of experience. And then all the little ones or aftershock and whatever else seemed like ones were happening every 2 weeks. Simon says, I knew that was going to come. Simon says, Michael, don't forget, eat, sleep, poop, repeat. That you have to admit, that is funny.
That's funny.
It's funny and it's
But
true.
I already read that and I'm laughing at the next.
It's funny, Simon, and it's true. Eat, sleep, poop, repeat. She smiled though. See, that helps, Simon. Thank you. She needs that. I'm already in yeah. I don't even know how the hell sometimes I sleep at night. I'm so excited to be here. Josh says David Jessup doesn't have a YouTube, but he's becoming like that most interesting man in the world commercial. That is perfectly put, Josh. David is very interesting. He's very nice, very generous, very humble, very knowledgeable, very like he's very he's he's just he's one of those guys, obviously I've never met him face to face. I mean, Ray knows him better than me, spoken to him, on the phone and stuff like that. But yeah, David's just one of those guys that I have obviously no idea what he sounds like, his voice, but I've kind of formulated in my mind. I think I do that with all you guys. You kind of formulate in your mind what somebody might sound like, because we've all kind of gotten to know each other as friends on here. I mean, needless to say, yeah, you could meet somebody and maybe their voice would be totally hilarious and you'd start busting out laughing. But no, David, that's like the best way to put it, Josh. That is so true. Most interesting man in the world commercial. That's so true. Ray has a comment. Che needs some Tanduay. Grumpiness will go away.
I don't need that. I don't need that, right?
Oh boy. That's funny, Ray. You have to admit, yeah, I like it. That's funny.
I don't need to drink Tanduay. I'm gonna put that in my hand and then it's like water so I can take a shower with Tanduay.
Do you need Tanduay long neck?
Yeah, to take a bath.
Take a bath in it.
I don't need to drink it.
She take a bath in it. She said, I don't need to drink it. I'll just take a bath in it. JP says, Boracay overrated. There's much quieter, nicer beaches here. That's good to know. I mean, obviously, I'll visit there once. I see Gino. He did his live stream there, and obviously he's had videos of it too. I mean, I'm a beach guy. Like, I at least want to try and visit everywhere once, but I'm sure there are. I've seen people make videos of these hidden little treasured beaches that there's nobody there. It'll literally be all yours. And yeah, they're like super cool and super nice. It's kind of like Bohol, and everybody goes to, Alona Beach. That's supposed to be really popular. I've never been there. Maybe some of you guys have and can chime in on it, or if it's, but that might be an example of another beach where there's a lot nicer, quieter beaches than that. I just like Sikihor. Like I said, Sikihor is perfect because there's so much to see over there. Smaller island, very clean, clean water for the most part. Not much trash in the ocean. Quiet. Not a lot of exhaust from motorbikes and stuff because there's just not as many. A lot of foreigners over there. We saw a lot more than I expected to see, actually, all over the place. Sula says, hello, Michael and Shay. How are you both? Did you do the health live yet? I hope I didn't miss it. No, I didn't do it yet. I'm going to save that and probably almost make a scheduled announcement or something like that, Sula, so everybody can kind of check in on that. And no, I didn't do that yet. I wouldn't do that. That's like, to me, that's too important. And, so many of you guys, well, Sharice was like giving all the ideas for like, well, you're the health one. And then Sharice is like, you should do a live stream the day in the life of Michael and Shay. I might be the one talking sometime during the live and she might be asleep. Remember Sharice, the girl, said the other day we should do a live stream, but a day in the life of Michael and Shay?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about that, but I was joking saying, well, I'm not joking. You might be asleep at some point, taking a Filipina nap in the middle of the afternoon, and I'll still be doing the live stream.
Yeah.
Just trying to include her. She's busy over there. At least she's awake. I'll give her that. But nope, not yet, Sula. We'll let you know. When I leave Ireland, I feel the same. I can't wait to go back home again. Simon says, I agree, JP. Been to Boracay 2 times, once before the closure and then when it reopened. Station 3, I feel, was the best for me, although if you do a boat trip to the north part, it is very unspoilt. I never said that word before. Unspoilt. It is very unspoilt. Sorry if I'm not, I've never used that word before. Unspoilt. Oops, I didn't want to do that either. And that's where, like Michael White and Gino, and I'm sure, and Ray's been up in that area. He's been the Rojas City. Like, there's like all these other places I know all over there to go to that I'm sure are not like touristy. And that's the way I felt at Little Boracay and Sikihor. It wasn't very touristy. Well, at least it didn't feel that way until we were leaving. And then everybody was showing up. JP says, I haven't been, Simon, too busy for me. Bakers Without Borders says F-250. I'm sorry, I'm not following what's F-250. That sounds like a bike. Oh, the truck maybe that they're putting the gas in. Ford F-250 or something maybe. My apologies, Bakers. I never owned a truck or anything like Ford F-250s, maybe what that is. I've always drove little quick turbo injected turbo-like cars and racing around. That was me. I was like a little bit of a speed merchant. All right, here we go. Gray says Nasagubu is a coastal town in Batangas with a nice beach. Are you familiar with that, JJ?
I'm familiar with Batangas. Batangas, it's different language there. Ala
She's perking up a bit. I don't know what's getting into her, but thanks, Ray. You woke her up a little bit.
It's called Batanguinho.
Baker said diesel is more expensive than gas. All right, so now diesel went up. But then doesn't diesel provide better mileage? Unfortunately, we have 2 diesel trucks. Oh, so JP did say, haha, Che, I am Googling it.
That's funny.
But I'm sure there's stuff that after all you're Googling, JP, you probably keep that stored up there. Ray says, I'm Chat GPT apparently, since I'm always being accused of being AI on every live stream. That's funny. I could see that. You know who I haven't seen in Ray? Where in the world? Well, he might be sleeping. But it's Thanksgiving morning. He lives in West Virginia, so it's 8:51 a.m. for the Chief. Where in the world is Chief? I haven't seen him in a while. No, I've seen him on your lives. I just haven't seen him on mine. But yeah, he's probably sleeping. It's too early for him. He's more of a night owl, I think. Simon says, we've had a break finally from the rain, thanks. Still raining on and off, but the past 3 days were nonstop. Really? Oh, that's sorry to hear that. It's been beautiful here. We had that one day from that last storm that rained a lot that night, evening. I got drenched walking back here. But then the next day we woke up, sun was out, and it was gone. And beautiful day at Sikihor. Like I said, I got to edit the video. This will be my first video in, heck, what was the last video you and I, oh, the last video Che and I did was just an out and about video, a day in the life of Michael and Che.
Yeah.
But this one's so much more cool. I hope you guys watch it. Hope you like it. It's more of my kind of like vlogging adventure kind of thing. That should be out in the next couple days. Doesn't take me long to edit. I'd watch it as when I edit, I watch it as if I was a viewer, and I forget the fact it's my stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to allow it to get boring. Yeah, I don't want to make it too long. I like to try and keep videos if I can. Now, I'm not saying I have every time, but I think it's better if you can keep a video between 15 to 20 minutes. That's also advice from other more experienced YouTubers as well. Especially if you want someone to watch it the whole way through, which I'm not so sure that happens quite often. I watch my videos and your videos the whole way through because I know it helps. But yeah, I hope you get some sunshine, Simon. Sula says, haha, Ray, everyone thinks you are AI. AI couldn't produce you. Yeah, I don't think AI could produce you either, Ray. You're one of a kind. Yeah, there's no duplicate of you. JP says, haha, Simon, there's no break from the rain here. One thing is for certain, though, and I know I said this before, but I'm thankful. It doesn't rain here as much as it did in Bacolod. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but people I've even talked to that are familiar with Bacolod, that live there longer than me, they all say, no, it rains quite a bit there in Bacolod. Now, I don't know if they meant just rain season only. But since we've been here in Duma, like I said, I love the idea. Hop on a boat, Sikihor, 30 minutes. And I'm okay even if we go to Bohol by boat here. The port's right by us. Like we can walk if we want. We can go to Bohol by boat. They said it's 2 hours. I'm assuming it's probably a little less than that. Obviously, if we go to Bohol, we'll just spend a couple nights there or whatever when we do that trip. But I like the idea of that, hop on a boat. Sula says, at Baker's, where are you? Petrol is more expensive than diesel here. Yeah, they're in Texas, if she didn't already answer you. I didn't really, I didn't remember they were in Texas. I knew they were from the U.S. Simon says, sorry, Che. He's laughing when he said poop, eat, sleep, poop, repeat. He knows he's married. His Filipino is named Cherry. That's why.
I think it's normal to old people. You can get up if you didn't sleep. If you can't survive if you didn't eat and poop.
It's so great when you get up you get like an explanation. She's taking it so serious, Simon. It's funny. Simon says, have at it, JP, laughing. Jop says, JP says, hi, Sula, the UK is all tax. Simon says, you can have some of our rain, John. Yeah, I mean, obviously we need rain once in a while, but I'm happy with the sunshine. But I still go out in the rain. I mean, heck, I walk in it, do lives in it. It's all good. Sula says, JP, that's a pity. I think the cost of living has increased there. How do you people manage? JP says, we get plenty. Thanks, Simon. Thought UK was wet. JP says, yes, Sula has gone up here, but nowhere near the UK as far as gas prices. Ray says, Sula, the Bakers, they are in Texas. And Baker says, I'm excited to see Sikihor. I love it. Like I said, it's got a uniqueness to it. I have to admit, a lot of people that I know that have been there, and some people that have been a lot of places in the Philippines, many more than me, they all speak very highly of Sikihor. It's like one of their favorites. Philippine islands to go to. like I said, this was my third time. And I told Che, I said, it would be even fun. Just go there once a week. Every Wednesday. I'll stay away from it on the weekends. It gets just too busy. Go every Wednesday. You know, like I said, 350 each boat ride over. So 700 pesos to get the boat over, 700 pesos to get boat back. We paid the tricycle for, total to and from, like the same guy that dropped us off. It was like a 20-minute ride on a tricycle. Same guy dropped us off, came back and picked us up. That was 700 pesos, right? So 700, so 2,100 pesos for your travel and getting there. And then, we ate a few things and bought a couple things to drink and stuff like that. That's not bad. I mean, yeah, 2,100 in total travel. And well, then we had to pay those little 14 pesos for the
Entrance fee.
entrance, like it's an entrance fee, like a tax, I call it, to get in and out of the port. That's basically nothing. But yeah, Bakers, I'd highly recommend Sikihor. Stay in Dumaguete. Hell, stay in Sikihor. There's a lot of nice places to stay there, and it's not like off the wall. It depends on where you stay. I mean, if you want a high-end resort, yeah, you're going to pay a little more. Still not as much as you'd pay somewhere else outside the Philippines. Still cheaper. Baker says, I'm sure my spelling is off. Your Sikihor looks spot on to me. Mine's like kind of goes to auto spell now, but I think you're right on. I think it's Siquior. I think that's right. Close enough. I better make sure I spell it right when I do my my video. But no, your spelling looks fine to me. Shula says Texas is expensive. Texas is a nice state. Good food there. I've been to Texas a couple times. Love the food. I don't even want to think about food. That's like my biggest thing. I miss the food. I'm obviously my parents, and then I miss conversation. But I'm getting conversation right now, so that helps. All right, so I think Ray fixed it. Siquui, yeah, HOR, yeah. Close enough, Bakers. But Ray with the correct spelling, yeah, that's it. Simon says the UK is not the UK anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, I think a lot of people can say that about their country. Such a shame, isn't it, John? I suppose it would be nice to go back every now and then, but only for a quick splash and dash. Yeah, mine will be a quick splash and dash, but I have faith. I have faith that things are going to change, not only for the United States, but for everybody. We just have to be a little patient. But that's my thoughts. I think we're going to be all right. Simon says, you're very unspoilt, Michael. Hope I'm saying that right. Hey, Stone Cold Steve, see his name, my first thought it was the wrestler. And that's exactly right where he created his names. Stone Cold, well, I guess it was Steve Austin or whatever, but I like your name. Where did Che live before she met you? You want to share that? He's asking you, where did Che live?
I live with Leia and Gary and the kids. I work there.
Well, yeah, like if you're not sure, she lived with Gary and Leah. Leah is Filipina Family Life with Leah. That's her channel. Gary has his channel as well. Was American Christian in the Philippines, and he changed it to Always Be Prepared. But the main, YouTube, you guys are probably familiar with, is Leah's channel. So Che lived and worked with them.
Yeah.
But when I met her on Facebook, and I had no idea that she was working. I didn't even know I already knew Gary and Leah as friends, and I guess I kind of did know that they had someone there, like as a nanny working there, but I had no idea it was Che. That's how wild that was. We met on Facebook, and then she's like friends with Gary and Leah on Facebook. And, anybody you're friends with, they will show that they're friends of your same friends. I'm like, wow, she knows Gary and Leah. And here, after we started talking, find out she lived with them. That was just wild. Talk about coincidences or a small world. But yeah, that's where she lived, stone cold. She lived with Gary and Leah. JP says it's turned into the migrant capital, Simon, and taxpayers are paying for it. Glad to escape. You're right. We're preaching to the choir. I'm just glad enough people, or hopefully enough people, realize that. Um, Simon says, with you there, mate. Yep. JP says, haha, Che Batangas language.
Yeah, Batangas. Batangas is Batanguineo, I think.
How you doing down there, Che? You all right?
Yeah.
She's hanging on for me, but at least she's in it comfortable. She can if she wants to fall asleep, she can fall asleep. She'll be all good. I got you. Hey, I drank coffee late today because I didn't have my second one like I normally do. So we're sitting at the port in Sikihor, and it's like 5 o'clock, right?
Mm.
And there's a coffee shop cafe in the little waiting area where you get your tickets. And I was like, I think I need a second coffee, but it's so late, it's going to disrupt me. It's going to fire me up. I think the energy's showing right now, but that coffee was good though, wasn't it, Che? I let her sip it. And
yeah, it's really good. You can taste the strong coffee. Yeah.
So, like, it was a winner. That was a good coffee, but yeah. That's why my energy level is probably a little higher than hers right now. Baker said, yes, diesel does provide better gas mileage for sure. Yeah, that's what I had thought. It's been so long since I put gas in a car or anything, Baker's. Like, I almost don't even remember. I mean, I don't even miss it. Like, you know, I'm sure, though, at some point, no time soon, but a motorbike's gonna eventually come into the equation for me. Whether or not I have it here in well, Dumagetti is much smaller than Bacolod, but like if I had lived in Sikihor and I had a motorbike, I would be fine there. I even think Che would feel all right, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you feel okay riding a motorbike in Sikihor?
Yeah.
Compared to here, like here.
Yeah, it's not really crazy traffic there.
Yeah, it's like it's like you just feel like you're on back roads. Like, but you're on back roads on an island instead of back roads in the country. Like I said, I haven't stayed in Sikihor long enough to say I could live there, but I've seen enough that would give me pause. Like, yes, it's not like a city. But here's the cool thing. If there's anything that we need that we can't get on this island, which is only 30 minutes away, but so much more province-y like waterfalls, beach areas, and everything's close to a small island, I could honestly, I would try living there. I wouldn't mind trying, I don't know, go 6 months, go a year. And then if you need anything, which would give us a reason to come to the city, which would be probably minimal things, get what you need, make a little day out of it, or heck, spend the night. And then get up the next day and get what you need, grab the bags, and hop on the boat and head back over. That might not be a bad idea. Like, Sikihor would be one of those kind of tempting places to check out. Never know. JP says Chief is granddad now. His daughter had a baby. Oh, so that's why he's MIA. Okay. Okay, Sula says Michael Chief became a granddad yesterday, so I bet it's good for him. Good for Chief. Awesome. I'll have to give him a call. He's waiting for that. That's great to hear. Oh, it was a baby boy, so he's a granddad. Good for Chief. I drank a coffee for you earlier, Chief. I don't know if you watched this replay of the live stream, but cheers to you, my friend. Baker says, congratulations to Chief on the granddaughter. JP says, oh, okay, Sula, thought it was a girl. Sula says, I'm sure he said a boy, but it's lovely, happy news for Chief and family. Yeah, regardless. That's what I always said, boy or girl, as long as it's healthy. That's the most important. JP says, yes, congratulations, Chief. Ray says, I just sent him a congratulations, Papa text. Oh, awesome, Ray. You should send him another text and say, everybody here in the live stream says congratulations. And we hope to see him soon. JP says, he probably had too many beers by now. Well, you know what? That's a good reason for anybody to celebrate. But maybe he wouldn't want to be, drinking too much with the grandkid. But you never know. It's all good. Troy RS, I bet you giggle when you wipe. Actually, I don't. But hey, to each his own. So what you're saying is you do when you wipe. That's a shame. But at least you wipe. Think about the person who's giggling and doesn't wipe. Anyway, JP says, yeah, Michael, I go through the week always busy at the weekends. Yeah, I just rather do things during the week and just to avoid all that extra, you know what I mean? Wow, combat medic, man, we haven't seen you. Good morning. How are things going with you? Oh my God, it's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while. At least it feels like it. How are things going with you, combat medic? Welcome. We're just giving thanks here in the Philippines. I'm thinking about Thanksgiving, the day that I used to do when I lived in the U.S. Granted, I'm happier here. But there's little traditional things you do miss. That's only normal. I've been doing that all my life with the exception of, I guess this would be my second Thanksgiving, not, with my family for Thanksgiving. It was always fun, especially if you're in fantasy football, whatever, and you had to get your lineup in early if you had Thursday games, and then it was just like smelling the food cooking all day and snacking on wings or shrimp or something like that prior to dinner. Yeah, I got to stop talking about food. Baker says, Texas is getting more expensive. Diesel is what, $3.27 a gallon. I think gas is $2.99, I think, a gallon. I still think that's lower than what it was, but then it's been so long. I can't even remember what gas was. It was higher when I was getting gas before I came here, but I've forgotten so much about a lot of that stuff, which is fine by me. Baker said, of course, Ray is going to correct me. Yes, Ray is good about that, but at least I know I'll remember when I go to spell it, doing my video, I won't spell the wrong thing. But yeah, Ray is good. He's a good friend. JP says, diesel here is $1 a liter. And see, that's another thing. I don't even look at gas here. Sometimes people ask me, and then I got to look at Che, and I don't know why I should expect her to know, because she's not buying gas either.
But it's cheap here.
Well, I know, but like I said, sometimes people ask what gas is, and I'm looking to Che to get an answer, and I'm like, she doesn't really, if I guess we were buying gas, we'd know. Simon says, I know what you mean, Michael. I miss conversations too, if you know what I mean. That's why I like our community lunch. Yeah, they're important. And that's another thing too, Simon. It's like once you meet other people, and then you meet them face to face, and then maybe some topics that you don't want to discuss on live stream, you can discuss with those people face to face. Those kind of conversations, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's just that kind of stuff. It's just kind of, you need those unique, relatable people that you can have those conversations with that maybe I can't have with everyday people here in the Philippines. So it's just that kind of stuff that you miss. But like you said, that's what this community's for, and it helps. That's why I say it's therapeutic to me. Kind of keeps my sanity. When my mother or father call me, video chat, FaceTime, I look forward to those conversations, Sometimes, like the other day, I had this thought of my mom, and within the second, she called. I only talk to her maybe twice a week, but it could be sporadic. It's different days all the time, kind of different times. Her night, my morning, her night. But it was just wild how I just thought of her, and then the phone rang, and Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just wild. But I know what you mean. Know what you mean, Simon. JP, same way. Me too, Simon. Get a blanket. She needs a blanket now. See, she's like, she'll fall asleep, which is fine by me. I'm good. I'm awake. And you guys are being a great help. Ray says, y'all know you can call me anytime, Simon JP. That's right. Ray in the Philippines, rain or shine. Ray's here. Simon says, it's still so funny when I mean, I know we keep saying this all the time, but Simon, when I say Simon says, it still makes me laugh. Simon says, I don't mean it in a derogatory way, by the way, but I guess you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah. Simon says, cheers, Mr. Ray. Jap says, I don't know why. Sometimes Jap, JP, John, you got 3 names. I got, well, Michael, some SS, Michael 1, 2, 3. Someone calls me, I forget who, someone calls me Michael in PA. I think that's Jimmy John, maybe. Somebody calls me Michael in PA because they know I live in Pennsylvania, which is pretty cool. JP says, did you check out? Oh, no. I actually haven't done that yet. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, yeah, sure, I checked it out. Did you check out the Guru God channel? Michael, he sells mushrooms. Nice, honest guy. Maybe cheaper for you. I have to do that. And did I ever ask you, or I don't know, are we on Facebook? Are we friends on Facebook? JP, John, Jap? If not, or maybe you don't have Facebook, but if not, friend me on Facebook. And if we're already friends, because I've lost track of how many people I'm friends with on there, if we friend each other, or we got a Facebook Messenger, and then that'll take care of that. I'm asking for help that you remind me. Thanks for reminding me again, but no, I haven't checked it out yet. See, I knew it. It says, will do, Ray. I don't use Facebook, only WhatsApp. So you just answered my question. Now you're putting the pressure on me. I got to remember this on my own. Baker says, are the waterfalls to see in Sequoia? Yes, there are. And there's those places too where there's smaller waterfalls but bigger swimming holes. People have ropes and all sorts of stuff swinging into the water, like bigger area. Like it was Kumbahaya, or Kauai, I don't know. I always say Kumbahaya, but that's the one I've been to. And I made like a real short video. That was before I really started getting into YouTube. But yes, there are. There's more than I'm aware of. That's why I go to Google Maps. I just start opening that map, zooming in, and then the beaches pop up, or you can just do waterfall search and it'll show all of them. But yes, there are, Bakers. A lot of adventurous things to do on Sikihor Island if that's what you're into, which I guess there's a lot of adventurous things to do on all the islands. Ray says, I have Simon on WhatsApp. Don't think I have you, JP. Thought I did. Yeah, I used to have WhatsApp and then I got rid of it. You getting comfortable there, Che?
Yeah.
She's making her bed. I call it her nest. She's making a nest. Let me see. Bakers Without Borders says, oh, I'm sorry. I think I meant to say grandchild. I'm cooking and doing voice text. It's not working out so well for me. Maybe I should do one thing at a time. I'm just thankful you're even here. It's all right. You're doing just fine. Message retracted. MD Miller. I know who this guy is, and yes, I know I look good for 55, so I'm 5 years away from 60, but I appreciate it. I don't drink, Mark. I don't smoke. I eat healthy. I take care of myself, and I do a lot of exercise, Holmes. So that's why I'm looking, I guess, good. And feeling good, too. But happy Turkey Day, Mr. Miller. Thanks for being here. I'm missing the food. I'm sure you got plenty of good food to eat. Sula says $2 a liter in Ireland for petrol diesel. Now, what is that in USD? I guess Sula. What is that in USD? JP says that's crazy now, Sula. Ray says gotcha, JP. Sula says, JP, you barely have the nozzle in the car and it's already up to €20. It's like we're filling our cars with air. Okay, Ray, I'll forward contact to you, Michael. Thank you very much. Yeah, I did see you sent me a message, so I appreciate it, Ray. Taking care of business, making life easy for me. Sula says, Bakers, you are multitasking. That's for darn sure. I appreciate that I'm a part of her multitask, or one of them. I'm assuming it's Mrs. Baker doing all the Thanksgiving stuff. Simon says, gonna be in trouble now with Mrs. Simon. I put the AC on Burr. Yeah, I didn't get in trouble, but she just said it's cold and I only have it on 26. That's just keeping like a little airflow going here. JP says, thanks, Ray. Cheryl Faromi says, do you use Android? Actually, I'm on an iPhone. Never had an Android. I've heard they work just as fine. I've been basically getting an iPhone for a long time and basically stuck with an iPhone and never changed anything. But appreciate the question. And Cheerful Faromi, where are you from? I guess you use I assume you use an Android. Sula says, are you in an apartment, Michael? Yeah, I'm in my apartment right now, Sula. Some people may refer to this apartment as a guinea pig cage. It is small. It's small like Ray's. Maybe, hell, it might even be smaller than Ray's. I don't know. But again, for me, well, obviously Che's here too, but I'm not here enough. As long as I have a place to sleep, eat, and shower, I want to be out and about exploring. I don't need I want it to be nice, aircon and stuff like that, but I don't need a big living space to be happy here in the Philippines. But you guys already know that anyway. But yeah, we're in our new apartment. Simon says, Ray, can you give my WhatsApp? Wait, Ray, can you give my WhatsApp mate if you want? I don't do Facebook. Yeah, now I'm beginning to think, Simon, I'm going to have to set up WhatsApp again, which I was thinking when I did my WhatsApp, you still had to input your, I don't know what the heck that is. Dry throat. Probably need water. Can you get me water? Or do I? Huh?
You can get
No, I'll get it. I need water. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Much better. My question was, with WhatsApp, it's been so long since I had it. When you set up WhatsApp, it requires you to put in like a number, correct? So I still have my American mobile number, but I don't use it. It's basically in a holding, so nobody else can take that number because I've had it forever. Yes, I have to pay a couple bucks just to hold on to a number, but if there was ever an emergency and I needed to reactivate my previous mobile number, it just made sense for me to hold on to it in case I needed to reactivate it, because that's the number that everybody has. But I guess if I set up WhatsApp now, I would put in my Philippine number. So yeah, I'm asking, is that what I would do? I'm almost positive when I set WhatsApp, you had to put in some sort of contact number in it. Baker say, Sula, I'm not good at multitasking though. Well, you seem to be doing pretty good right now. again, I appreciate everybody being here, but thank you, Bakers. You're making me really feel like, well, it's like I know you're preparing for Thanksgiving. I'm jealous. JP says, haha, Simon, when I put aircon in here, they all had blankets on. Yeah, and I don't even have it on that high. Uh, yeah, can you imagine taking a Filipina back to Pennsylvania in the wintertime? Uh, that would be wild. Simon says, I know, so funny. Ray says, I drink, smoke, and I'm lazy, and I'm still look good. Oh, boy. That's an oh, boy. Oh, boy. Did you hear that, Jay? Jay? I think she's asleep. Zula says, sorry, I meant $2 a liter, which is 1.75 euro. Okay, I got you now. Simon says, 26 degrees is bloody colder outside this evening. JP says, it won't last, Simon. We'll be cooking soon. Need aircon. Yeah. And that's the thing with this new apartment. We have a window, like right there, but you have to have, if you don't have wind directly blowing in that window, you basically, it's pointless to even open it because you can't create a draft going through the door because it's like you're inside a building. That's the one thing. The one apartment I had in Bannylad had a front door and a back door, so you always had a draft going through. That helped, but still, when we went to sleep, I always had to turn on the aircon like it is now. So we run this probably a little more when we're here, but not much, because I'm not here much. She's in here more than I am, and she doesn't run it that much because she's too cold. Baker said, we're actually not cooking Thanksgiving at all this year. It's just gonna be my husband and I, and we're just gonna wing it. I was cooking breakfast. Yeah, winging it's good. Breakfast is good too. Make a Thanksgiving breakfast, lunch, dinner. Baker's, Sula said you're doing a good job. Ray says, done, Simon. Sula says, it was more expensive for a while, but stabilized again. That's good to hear. Sula's asking, is it morning there in Texas? Yeah, I guess Texas is maybe 8:24 a.m. Baker, or 7:24 or 8:24 a.m. I'm guessing. I'm trying to keep up with the time zones so the day is just kicking off in USA and bedtime in the Philippines. You got that right. The only thing I have to do is brush my teeth. Ray says, you can use your Philippines number, Michael. Okay, well, I'm glad I know that. I can use that for WhatsApp. Like I said, I've had it before, but it was only when I had friends from Dominican Republic. They used WhatsApp, and then once they actually moved to the USA, they became citizens and stuff. I wasn't using WhatsApp anymore. Simon says, I'm still using my UK number for WhatsApp, but you can get a cheap SIM, 6 USD per month for unlimited calls and data. Yeah, I need to get my whole thing straightened out here in the Philippines. I have a smart card, eSIM Smart. The best data you can get is this 30 pesos a day for unlimited data, and it helps with obviously live streaming a lot, watching other live streams so you don't run out. Then they have a 3-day one. It's 85, 30, 60, 90. Yeah, 85 pesos for 3 days. They give you 5 pesos off instead of paying 30 a day. Then there's the weekly one, same kind of deal, 7 days, 185 pesos for the 7 days. But I haven't found one for a month, which is kind of weird. That's the one works best. That's the one I use. And that's what I figure is best for me to use until someday my goal is to have the Starlink Mini. That's the goal. But then I did hear a rumor, and I brought this up before, and I don't know if any of you guys heard it, or maybe I could research Google. but I saw this rumor somewhere, and I can't remember where I saw it. Like the iPhone 18 was going to come with um, Starlink built into it. I don't know if any of you guys have heard that, but uh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool if that happens. You'd think it would eventually happen. Um, Josh says, I had a phone call and got behind. Che will have to read off all the comments to catch me back up. Yeah, I think asleep. She's asleep. Uh, Ray says he's laughing at Josh. JP says, Sula, it's only $1 a liter here, about 70 pence in the UK. Sula says, does anyone know of a SIM you can use while traveling the USA? I can't use my phone in America. I don't know how big. I use Smart. I know there's Smart. I know there's Globe. And I know there's, here in the Philippines, there's one called Ditto or something like that. I only have Smart. I don't know if there's much difference between the three, but I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure you can get one, but I don't know the right one to use in the USA. Baker said, you're correct. It is 8:22 a.m. now, so I'm assuming it's 6:22 p.m. in the Philippines. Actually, it's 10. I'm like for East Coast, like my parents right now. It would be 9. Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania would be 9:30 a.m. They're 13 hours, or I'm 13 hours ahead of them. So that means we're 10:28 p.m. here. Baker's 10:28 p.m. Sula says, JP, where are you again? Sorry, I can't keep up with everyone. I know that feeling, Sula. But it's all right. I don't mind getting a bigger community. If I screw up once in a while, I know you guys will forgive me for not remembering. So we forgive you too. It does get hard, but that's a good thing. You know, the more people we meet and get to know, it's all right to not remember everything because that means it's growing. So that's good. JP says, General Trias Cavite. Sula says, at Baker's, it's almost 2:30 in the day here, so I think 10:24. Yep, you were right on, Sula. Baker said I made spam, cheesy eggs with onions. I love onions and everything. Onions and the eggs, but fried potatoes with pancakes, strawberry jelly. I'm a big French toast person. I've always liked French toast. Now I've eaten pancakes, but I don't eat French toast often. But I always preferred French toast over pancakes. I don't know why, I just liked it better. But I've had good pancakes. Like some people have these phenomenal pancakes. It's just not the basic batter. They kind of do something to it. It just makes it so much better than like I don't know, me dumping in a box and just mixing it with water. There he says 2:24 p.m. in Ireland. Sula says, yes. Are you 8 hours ahead? And Ray says, yes. Simon says, we live quite close to Cavite, John. We lived in Alabang for 4 years. Sula says, okay, thanks. JP says, yes, Simon, close to here. JP says, you've been here longer than me, Simon. Baker says, use Saley in USA. All right, there you go. We got Lewis Milton here. Hello, Lewis Milton. He says, hi, my name is Louis Milton. Louis, my name's Michael. I'm from the United States. My girlfriend, Che, is asleep. She's from the Philippines. So I'm currently living here in the Philippines. But welcome, Lewis. Where are you from, Lewis? We always like to know where everybody's from, but welcome to my live stream. If you're still here, sorry I answered your comment, question a little late. I always try to read everybody's comments and questions, but welcome. Simon says, since 2016, but traveling every month to see Cherry until two and a half years ago. Ray says, you can use Saley Associate. You know that too. I never heard of Saley, but Now I'm learning something new. Sula says, sorry for a silly question, but what direction do you fly from USA to Philippines? Do you stop in Ab- Abu Dhabi? When I fly from the U.S., Sula, I go from, well, I'll just tell you how I flew my last flight. Went from Pennsylvania in the United States to Atlanta, Georgia, the whole way to Seoul, Korea, Seoul, Korea to, um, where was it? Maybe what? I don't know if did it go Korea right to Cebu. I'm thinking it should have stopped somewhere else, but that was before when I went to Taiwan to Cebu. Did I go Korea and stop anywhere before Cebu? I can't even remember now. Maybe I didn't. But no, it's like it's like the long whole way around the world. But it's not a stupid, silly question, Sula. Not at all. Ray said, Angel beat me to it. Simon says, almost brought a house in Cavite too, just changed my mind. Baker's is Sally. Okay, thanks. Simon says, Sula, UK, Istanbul, Manila, or UK, Dubai, Manila. I'm trying to remember. After Korea, did I stop anywhere else? I don't think I did for whatever reason. I think I went Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, the whole way to Korea, Korea to Cebu, spent the night, got up, and went to Dumaguete. I actually liked the way I traveled when I went there this last time from the US. My first trip was Pennsylvania to Chicago, then to San Francisco, California, then I think to Taiwan, and then to Cebu, and then to Dumaguete. So it says, okay, Simon. Simon says, so many options. Yeah, I did like the one I traveled this last time. I like being on the airline to Korea. That was like a really nice big plane. The food was great. It just was better. I liked how whatever that airline, Korean airline it was on, that was really nice travel. And that was like 15 hours or so on that flight. Bakers Without Borders said, Saley works well in the Philippines. I do know that. I haven't used it here in the Philippines. I never even heard of that one, so then there's another one. That's another one. Well, Sula says, same route for USA. I'm sure you just heard the ones I gave you, like the routes out of the United States. I'm sure if you're on the West Coast, you're going to go right from California to Korea or Japan or Taiwan. JP says, Vodafone canceled my SIM because I didn't use it for a while, needed it for my bank card. They sent it to my Philly number now eventually. Never heard of Vodafone either. I'm learning a lot of things. I have Smart, but I did know Globe was an option when I first got this here to the Philippines. But he says, that's why you heat me, Angel. I fact-checked if Saley worked in the US before I recommended it. Maybe you, oh, that's why you beat me. Oh, okay, because it heat me. Sula says, JP, I'm with EIR. It's an Irish network. I can only get a few megabytes of data in the USA and they cap it. But I said I can prepay and just keep using it, but they won't give the option. So bad for business. Sounds like it. It sounds kind of stupid if you ask me. I wonder what the big deal is. Sounds like it would be an easy thing to take care of. JP says, lucky Simon, you escaped to Isabella. JP says, yes, Sula, they canceled my number, Vodafone, because I never used it for a while and topped it up. Okay, here's Sula, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Korea, Philippines. That's a long journey. Makes sense to go that way from the U.S. Yeah, like I said, the Atlanta to Korea flight, even though I was on there a while, it was actually really good. Food was great. People were great. I like how the airline was ran. I think it was like Korean Airlines or something like that out of Atlanta. Very big plane, clean. Yeah, I really enjoyed being on that airline. And when I was on it and got off, I was like, huh, if I ever have the option of getting on that Korean airline, I would fly that again. Simon says, yeah, John, I feel genuinely blessed being here and building our new home. I posted a couple of videos yesterday, today on the house. We'll do one more tomorrow then about our solar system. Yeah, solar systems are definitely, I think, the way to go. There's quite a few other people that I know that live here in the Philippines that definitely do this, use the solar for a lot of things. And I mean, it's a perfect place to have it. Um, and then I guess they have it's like the battery box, whatever, they can hold all the energy that you got. And then, yeah, he was telling me how much it runs on his house, like, and he can basically run almost everything off the solar, and like his electric bill is like next to nothing. If I understood him correctly, like he has a swimming pool and was talking about running the filter and all that stuff. It's very interesting. So Lewis says, JP, I think they give you 6 months, something like that. Sula says we'll have to check it out. To Simon, where he says direct flights to Manila from San Francisco and LA. Yeah, I've even heard there's direct flights, Ray. People were telling me about, because I was trying to obviously try to eliminate any stops. Although the one I did, like I said, Pennsylvania, Atlanta to Korea was not bad. That was my best one. I think people are saying if you go to, I don't know if it was JFK or Newark, New Jersey, or JFK, New York, you could fly directly to Manila, I think, which wouldn't be bad either. And then I guess, I don't know if I could go to Manila to Dumaguete or not. I might have to go Manila to Cebu, then to Dumaguete. I'm not sure how that goes. Simon says, same with my John, but weirdly, I can still use the same number for WhatsApp. Strange. Yeah, I'll definitely have to use a Philippine number. Shula says, wow, Ray, that's good. JP says, that's how I flew, Simon, Newcastle to Dubai, then to Manila, Emirates. JP says, yes, I watched them, Simon. Nice. Nice home you have there. Kevin says, hi, Michael. Hey, Kevin. Sorry if I'm getting to this live stream a little late. We went to Sikihor today. I'll have a video of it later. Jay's asleep. I've been doing this for a little bit, and then probably not much longer. This is called the Thanksgiving Philippine live stream with just all my normal friends, which is fine by me. It's fun like that. But how are you doing, Kevin? What you do today? Simon says, cheers, JP, much appreciated. Kevin says, I flew direct nonstop from LAX to Manila. Yeah. That'd be a nice flight. If you're, especially if you're already in California. JP says, yes, Simon, I did as well. Till I got new phone, WhatsApp sends new message to confirm your number. All right. Kevin says there are flights from Manila to Dumaguete. Okay, then that's good to know. Cebu is just a lot smaller, and that's probably why I've been going to Cebu, and I'm familiar with it now. I know a lot of people said Manila can be the airport's bigger, a little more maybe stressful. So I'm used to Cebu. Baker say, we are flying United this time back to the Philippines. I'm wondering if we made a mistake. I have flown United before, but I don't know about international. I hope it's as good as Ava Air. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what airline I originally flew with, but then, like I said, once I got to Atlanta, I think it was like Korean Airlines, almost positive. Uh, Angel, it is not. Delta is good. Philippines airline is better. Sula says, at Baker's, I flew United to the USA. They're good. Mostly use American Airlines. Yeah, pretty much any airline I've ever been on hasn't been like, I haven't had any like really bad experiences. Baker's, she says, that's not good news, Ray. Um, but again, I don't know when I'll be flying that far back to the USA again. Like I said, something like, and I always say, heaven forbid, something's wrong with my mother or father. That'd probably be the only reason I would go back anytime soon. Where are we at here? 90 minutes. Well, guys, I'm sure you guys are bored by now and have had enough of me. I'm getting kind of tired anyway. I gotta brush my teeth yet. Someone else I have to get to sleep too. Uh, Hold on. We got some comments. That's good. That keeps it going. Ray says, I would fly to LA or San Francisco, then direct on PAL. What's PAL, Ray? Educate me. Baker says, oh, well, at least we're going back. I don't care how we get there. That's a good point. So it says, any secret for not dehydrating on a long flight? Aside from drinking water, magnesium glycinate helps with a lot of things. I'd say take magnesium glycinate if you can get it. Drink any electrolyte drinks that you can get your hands on that are good. I mean, obviously you got the normals of Gatorade. If I drink it, it's sugarless, but yeah, something with electrolytes in it is very helpful. Probably more important than just regular water. Electrolytes is important when you're on a long flight. I definitely would recommend that. Good attitude. Josh says, Michael, you can't use connections to get a FedEx flight. Nope, not anymore. Those days are over. I remember when I did work for FedEx, like, they used to have jump seat options where as a employee, you could basically get on the cargo plane and there's a couple seats, although there's no seats really for passengers, but they had jump seat or extra crew members. You could jump seat a lot of times for free. And if it wasn't that far, it wasn't that expensive at all, but you could get discount on tickets through airlines too. Sometimes it was more work than it was worth to even get them, but jump seating on a FedEx plane, that was the nice thing. I'd go Pennsylvania to Memphis, the main hub, and then whatever city they connected to. Yeah, that was nice. But they got rid of a lot of stuff. They had an incident on a plane where, long story short, that really screwed up a lot of people being able to jump seat. Before you could have jump seaters, you could actually sit in the cockpit with them. But some individual, this was years ago while I was working there, some individual, I don't know if he was a pilot, whatever, he had issues. He took a hammer in a bag, a carry-on bag on the plane, and he went after the crew members. Like I said, this was a long time ago. But I guess at one point the plane was flying upside down and he was taking a hammer, hitting people in the head or something to that effect. Something really screwy happened. I don't really remember the specifics, but I remember because we lost those jump seat privileges as FedEx employees. Guy went nuts. on a plane. Yeah, and went after the crew. Uh, but that would be nice if I could still use that, had that perk after retired. Kevin says, I'm going to sleep too. Good night. Good night there, Kevin. I'm sure I'll run into you somewhere when I'm out walking. Ray says, I was waiting for you to end to call you briefly. All right, you can call me, Ray. Just as soon as I end it. Sula says, Kevin, good night to you. Yeah, Kevin's a friend of mine. Lives here in Dumaguete. I'm actually met him in McCullough, and now he's in Dumaguete. Oh, there you go. Ray says PAL, which is Philippines Airlines. JP says, okay, thanks, Michael. It's fine if you're tired. I'm getting there. Baker's Reporter said yes on the magnesium. Yeah, that and anything that has good natural electrolytes in it will definitely be help. No problem, Sula. You know, I'm always willing to help health-related stuff as best as I can. And it helped me too. Kevin's smiling. Baker's Reporter says, good night, Michael. Talk to you soon. Good night to you also. I'll talk to you soon. Simon says, good night to all. Sula says, a hammer. Wow, that's bad. Yeah. I mean, this is pre 9/11. This was like before all that. I mean, I'm glad I got the opportunity to enjoy that perk before they just ended it. Took one person to, I mean, it was a wild incident, obviously, but this one person to kind of ruin it for everybody. That's what stunk the most. Sula says, Michael, we know you're retired. It was good to chat with you and all. Thanks. Of course, I'll have a live stream tomorrow. You know, my earlier one somewhere in the afternoon here, or maybe early morning. But yeah, I've had a long day doing that traveling the Sikh world in one day. Gets you kind of tired, but I just wanted to do it because, like I said, it's Thanksgiving for me traditionally in the United States. So I thought it would be cool just to kind of talk to anybody who would show up. But appreciate everything, you guys, and no, Sula, it's coming in the future. I will definitely let you know for sure. I'll have the health, skincare, all that stuff you guys talked about the other day on a live stream coming up, but I won't just do that unannounced. I'll make sure I'll let people know because that takes a lot of time and thought and energy anyway, and I know that was important to you guys. So, Sula, Thanksgiving again, friends. Have a good night. Yeah, thank you too, and that'll be cool, Michael. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'll do that. I look forward to that. You know, I'm passionate about that stuff anyway. But good night, and Ray, if you're giving me a shout out, call me. Feel free to do it before I brush my teeth. But thank you guys. Have a good night. God bless you, and happy Thanksgiving. All right. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for everything. Bye, Ray. Oh, yeah, and bye, Lynn, and everybody else. Thanks for being here. Have a good night.